Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to the Dark Lanterns. My name's Gaurav Gulati and I'll be your dungeon master this evening. We're going to be playing a game set in the fantastical world of Eberron. During this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons adventure, we'll be previewing a bunch of new elements from Eberron, Rising from the Last War, which is a new book that comes out on November 19th, and you can get it at your local game store or wherever books are sold. Let's go around and meet the players at the table, starting from here.
Oh!
Introduce yourself and introduce your character, if you will.
Hi everybody. My name is Tyler Rhoades. Tonight I am going to be playing a Warforged barbarian by the name of Pulver. Pulver is a monstrous juggernaut of a Warforged. He is like all Warforged, he's a former soldier. He served under the, I'm going to say Seer, that's how I'm going to pronounce it, under the Syrian forces during the last war. He is a war criminal, essentially. I can go into more detail during the game, but let's just say he accidentally murdered a village of civilians.
Like you do.
That just happened.
That's just kind of a thing that happened. And so he was captured by the Breton forces. He was prisoned in Broken Blade Castle, and he was selected by Captain Eberron, who is the leader of the Dark Lanterns, for a special mission. He completed the mission, and now he has become a full member of the Dark Lanterns, which is where he is now. So, and I will be wearing this mask for as long as I can stand it.
Let's see how that looks. Put it on.
Just be ready for that. Okay,
Mask,
yeah. All right, there we go. Mask.
Yeah, there he is.
Okay.
Warforged.
Yes, but I want to save it for when we're actually playing.
Okay, cool. Right next to War Crimes is...
War Crimes.
Wow. Hey everyone, I'm Ashlen Rose. I am playing a changeling named Ghost. Basically, she has been in the academy all her life. She grew up, eat, sleep, breathing, being an agent, essentially. So, you know, she grew up playing games like hide and seek, but how long can you hide? The codename Ghost is actually her family's name that's reserved specifically for them at the academy. So they're really well known within it. And so she has a lot to prove and a lot of expectations set on her. Her family was assigned to Sire and disappeared during the war. And so she's not really sure what happened to her mom and dad. They're assumed dead. We'll figure that out. But yeah, that's Ghost in a nutshell.
Maybe they're dead adjacent.
Yeah.
Well, let's go across the table and go with you on that corner.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm Xander Jeanneret, and I'll be playing Milo, codename Waltz, de Jarasco. And he is a Mark of Healing halfling, but he's a bard because he has taken up the art of dance. And that's how he gets by in this world, and it was sort of frowned upon by this pious healing family. That and a few other reasons are why he joined the academy and now uses his abilities in the club for spy uses? I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, okay. Right next to Spy Club, we have...
Hi, my name is Meghan Caves, and I am playing Hella Twidget Voltwalk Turin. She goes by
again.
As you can tell by her name, she's a gnome. Gnomes, all their family members give them a name, so they have many names, but she goes by Gadget, and that is also her code name. If you have watched a few things on our channel before, you might have seen Gadget before in our Barovia show. So where that ended was a little bit... We weren't really sure what happened to Gadget, but here she is.
Yeah.
You've now found her. She doesn't entirely know how she got here either, but she kind of got interested more in, her gadgets, which is what she likes, and she became an artificer. Am I saying that right? Artificer. I'll say it with, you have to pronounce every piece of it.
You say it exceptionally well.
Artificer. Yes. And so now she's added magic to her gadgets, which she really likes. And she, she's very observant. And she was about the city and observed that there were some people sneaking about, doing interesting things. So she kind of maneuvered her way into the Dark Lanterns until they let her become a part of it. So, and she really wants to make all the gadgets for all the different teams. And I don't know that they want to let her do that yet, but she's still trying.
I imagine Gadget just walked into their offices every day like, can I be an intern or something?
Hello, I'm here again. Yeah, exactly.
That lady's back. What do we do? I guess give her a job. And they did.
It works.
Cool. Great. Okay, cool. Now let me give you some exposition. The world of Eberron has a rich history, built on heroic deeds, evolving magic, and the wounds of a long and devastating war. Magic is built in the very fabric of the world. Great cities where castles scrape the sky prosper throughout the continent of Corvair, and a thriving society of merchant families controls much of the world's economy, thanks to the edge given to them by the mysterious and rare dragon marks. Its people harness magic as a tool to build cities, to sail ships through the skies, and to create both wonders and weapons. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes, all classes and races. They travel the world, unearthing fabulous treasure, battling nefarious villains, and deal with narrow escapes and ominous mysteries that are as likely to shed light on centuries of secrets as they are to threaten the world's safety. And that's where the Dark Lanterns come in. The King's Dark Lanterns is the intelligence division of the King's Citadel, an organization sworn to defend Breland from its enemies and dispense justice in the name of King Boronel. As secret servants of the Crown, they are granted the authority to conduct intelligence operations on foreign soil, execute covert missions across the globe, and prevent national secrets from falling into the hands of rival intelligence agencies. Though the existence of the Dark Lanterns is public knowledge, their missions, sacrifices, and acts of heroism rarely are. Information of their exploits is heavily classified, and any agent that is captured or killed is immediately disavowed. Now, let's set the stage. Our story begins in Sharn, the grandest city in Eberron. Above the city, great airships of House Lyrandar float like leviathans surrounded by brilliant rings of elemental energy. Below, bridges crisscross at all levels of the city, connecting Sharn's great towers. The sound of crying children, barking vendors, cursing skycoach drivers, and braying hippogriffs rise up to become a unique din that can only be heard in Sharn, City of Towers. The four of you just recently finished your training at the Citadel Academy, which is located in Rhoades, the capital city of Breland. You studied the art of stealth, infiltration, reconnaissance, and were taught by veteran Dark Lanterns. As you awaited orders for your first assignment, you were each given leave and decided to use that time to either relax or take care of some loose ends, whatever you had time to do. A couple weeks later, a message arrived informing you the location of your first mission, Sharn. Each of you was given a location of a safe house to go to and a time to meet. Which one of you is the most punctual? Who would be there first?
100% goes.
Oh gosh,
She
yeah.
would be there like a 30 minutes early, probably,
Okay.
scoping out the place.
Great. So, your safe house is located in Middle Tavix Landing, which is a district of Sharn, and the district is Cornerstone. And this is a haven for travelers. It has a range of comfortable inns and taverns, as well as some small homes, one of which is where your safe house is located. So you walk into a quaint yet comfortable-looking townhouse, basically, and you set down your belongings. What do you do when you arrive?
Ghost will probably investigate everything to make sure it's on the up and up and not, it's safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a
First roll of the game.
first roll.
Oh, it's happening.
Give me just an investigation check to check your surroundings.
Okay. All right, here we go. I guess I should take all my other dice out of this. Okay. Ah, that fell. Okay.
Come on. Here we go.
Turns out these things don't let you hold dice very well.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, okay, investigate. Oh, I get a +5. Heck yeah.
Nice.
Holy
I got
cow.
9.
Very impressive.
So you look around, and it looks like
Wait, okay.
this is basically like an Airbnb that they had rented out for you, but it's exclusive to the Dark Lantern. So you go inside, everything's very clean. There's beds for all of you. There's a dining room. There's a living area, and there's nothing out of place that seems like dangerous to you or sets off any alarms in your head.
Okay. Do I know who will be joining me?
At this point, you probably don't know.
Okay.
You're aware that's other lanterns, that you're meeting 3 of them,
Yeah.
but you don't know exactly who.
Okay, well, what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna find a corner of the room to set up in.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put a minor illusion to look like I'm not there.
Okay, all right. So whoever walks in.
Watch.
I think it's Gadget.
Okay, cool. What are you disguised as? Like a lamp? Or like a clock?
Or do
Like
you-
a grandfather clock? Like, what do you think?
I'll probably disguise myself as. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a clock.
Okay.
I'll be the clock.
Okay, cool. So you're like a nice looking grandfather clock in the corner of the room.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you said you were gonna be next?
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk in and you open the door and
She sneaks in.
oh, you sneak in. Okay, cool.
I think she's she thinks she's there first.
Sure.
You know,
Oh,
she wants
okay.
to come and see like what things maybe she can
Yeah,
take.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. So I think she just kind of like peeks her head in and then sees that no one is there. And, what kind of stuff is in this room?
So this is, you probably enter in the living area, so you see like some couches to sit on, a coffee table, in the back is a dining area with a kitchen, and a dining room table as well. There's some rooms that are bedrooms, so, is there something particular that you think would be here? Because this is kind of open to you. I'll let you design this room.
I would be looking for trinket type stuff, and
Okay.
it sounds like the most interesting thing in here is probably a clock.
Yeah, I will say that this strikes you a bit odd to have this giant grandfather clock in a place that doesn't really sort of have fancy things. It's very basic, middle of the road stuff.
So she's gonna walk over, and then she gets closer and begins to see that, wait, this clock doesn't look right. I think at first she's gonna start to pull out like a weapon.
Oh, wait, Gadget, hey, it's Ghost.
Oh, well, you could have said something. I was gonna come and steal your gears.
Oh, goodness, no, please don't do that. I need those.
All right, well, if you have any gears.
I'll let you know if I see some.
Okay, good. Did you see anything else in here that because this is our first mission and it's important to be prepared, and there are lots of things I could use.
I have not seen anything, but
Okay.
You guys
Just
can
keep
walk
your
in
eyes
at
open.
any time.
always.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you hear a fumbling at the front door. He has enormous hands, and he's trying to put the little key inauspiciously, kind of looking around. And okay, cool. Pushes the door open, and in walks this 7'5" massive spiked creature with the friendliest little grin on his face.
Oh, here are the gears.
Sorry, and let's.
There it is.
Yes.
Let's gear up here. Ah, yes. And Pulver walks into the safe house, ducking his head, most likely.
You see the two of them probably just conversing in the room.
Oh, hello, little ones.
Oh, hi. What?
I was hoping I would see you here.
Well,
Pulver.
you did, so that's good. Do you need any
Fantastic.
fixes on anything? I can help you. I probably have something in my bag. I can
Gadget.
maybe make it what?
I need to remind you that's not how this works.
From behind Pulver, you hear like, "Oh, I'm so glad it's you guys."
Oh!
It turns out that I was behind you the whole time. I thought it would be best for him to work out the lock himself, because you can teach a robot to fish, but you can't. Whatever that saying
Yeah, I
is.
think I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I've never caught a fish in my life.
See? You're, wait.
I don't know what a fish looks like.
You did very well with that keyhole, though.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. And your movement has gotten a lot quieter.
I've been working on getting crouching low
Yes.
and ducking my head and swiveling it around to see if I can see any enemies, as I was
Amazing.
taught in the academy.
And hopefully soon we can convince enemies that you're a trash can or something, and they will
Yes.
just ignore you.
I look forward to this.
It's a very big trash can, but it might work.
I'm surprised you're here, Gadget.
Oh.
I mean, I know we all graduated from the academy, but you had some issues.
I didn't have any issues.
Oh, right.
She definitely
yes.
had issues.
No, I was the top of my class. I mean, part of the top of my class.
I feel like
Obviously.
she's not telling us the truth.
I always tell the truth.
Oh,
I can hear you.
I believe you now.
Oh, okay, good. I like this. That's why I like having you around.
Thank you. I like being around. This is exciting. We're in a strange new city. There are things to explore. I'm excited for this mission, and it's a pleasure to have you all here.
I'm glad that you're feeling emotions.
I'm
How
feeling
is that?
many emotions. This is quite new. I've never been on my own before, so
Well, you have us.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Ghost, how have you been?
Good, yeah. It's been a great time away from taking a break from the academy.
I know that was your whole life, and so what did you fill the time with?
I was training and helping some of the younger people at the academy.
So you never took a break?
No, not really.
You didn't take any time off?
Ghost finished number 1 in our class.
I think so.
By a large
I
margin.
mean, I didn't want to. We worked together. It was
Yeah,
fine.
I helped a lot.
All right.
Helping?
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't be able to do anything without all my gadgets.
That's true.
Just untangle them. Here. Remember this one? This one was real helpful.
Oh,
careful.
yeah.
Careful.
Oh, yeah, these explode. You're right. Let's put them there.
How goes the maintaining the random explosions?
Oh, I mean, it's good. This bag only got burned just now it's on the floor. This bag got burned just the once, so I feel like it's in a really good condition. There's only maybe about 10 things that explode in here.
And only 3 of them are currently ticking.
Yeah. I mean, this one's definitely ticking, but it's a watch, so it
The
should.
smell is pungent.
Oh, yeah, that's the duck.
Duck.
Yeah, I mean, you guys seen a duck? It's right at the very bottom, of course. Haven't you seen a duck before?
Oh.
I've never seen a duck before.
Well, this is a duck. It doesn't normally have these fancy glasses, though. But it's a little dusty.
That's a fancy duck.
It is, yes. It doesn't explode. Don't worry.
So as Gadget sets her gadgets into her room, you guys set all your things into your rooms, and
We have rooms.
Yes, yeah. It's
We
you
each get a room?
You each get a room. Yeah, they take good care of you in the Dark Lanterns. So all of you set your stuff aside, and eventually one of you notices on the dining room table, you see a nice blue velvet tablecloth, and on the center of it is a smooth round stone with a blue rune, which is the mark of sending on it, which you know that this is a sending stone. You've seen these before, and they're basically used to communicate. And so at some point while you're conversing, you see it start to glow, which means that you're receiving. So you should, whenever you're ready to sit down and talk, you should sit down and do so.
Looks like we're getting a message. I don't know. Is everyone get in here?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. From my room, I've been like stretching and sort of checking out the perimeter and clearing away. Was there any furniture in there, or
in your room? Yeah, there's a bed, a dresser, maybe a mirror.
Yeah,
just the
all of it
basic
is
things.
pushed into one side,
Okay.
and I was like use the floor space
Yeah,
to sort of like warm up and whatever. As soon as I hear that call, though, I'll come back down.
Okay.
Okay. So you all sit down at the dining room table, and one of you presses the stone, and it lights up, and a voice fills the room, and you hear, "Hello, hello, lanterns. Can you hear me? Hello."
Yes.
Oh,
Hello.
there you are. It's my name's Goldnickel. I'll be your handler for this mission that you're on.
I like your name.
Oh, thank you. Everything good? Are you all settled in?
Yes.
Yeah, we need more gears in here, though. Just when you get a chance.
I'm sorry, more gears?
Yeah, so I can make all of the devices that we'll need for whatever our mission is.
Oh, all right. I'll make a note, any sort of size or
Oh, all sizes, please.
all size gears. We'll work on that.
Okay.
Everything else all right?
Yes. I checked the perimeter thrice, and everything seems to be in order, and it will be safe.
Excellent. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Sharn and your mission. As you know, Sharn is the largest city in Corvair, with a population of 500,000 residents. Beyond the permanent population, tens of thousands of people pass through Sharn every day. Refugees from the last war still find their way here, along with tourists, merchants, and other people looking for work. Now, I assume at least a few of you have been here before.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have never been to Sharn.
Well, welcome. I think Warforged are mostly welcome here.
Excellent.
Maybe stay away from some of the lower parts of Sharn.
I will take that in mind.
It's good that some of you have been here. Hopefully your knowledge of the location will help you navigating the bridges and corridors and alleys and rooftops and many other things you'll encounter. your contact here is a one Germaine Vilroy. Some of you might already know her, but she is a sergeant of the Sharn Watch, which is a local police force in the city. She's also a trusted ally of the Dark Lanterns, the King's Citadel, and is aware that she's meeting with agents of the Dark Lanterns. Sergeant Vilroy claims to have some sort of evidence of a plot involving a powerful weapon falling into the wrong hands, and that's something that we need you to investigate. Your mission is to meet with her, listen to her story, and investigate further if necessary.
Do you have a physical description of Germaine Vilroy?
So you have probably already met Vilroy. I think a couple of you have. Yes. Ghost has, Waltz has.
Okay.
You probably met her, my guess is during the last war, when you were still healing for your house. Mm-hmm. You probably met her, like, on the battlefield.
Okay.
Like, maybe she's one that you actually helped heal at some point.
Got it.
And at some point she might have saved your life. You were probably together for a week or so, and so you got to know her. And then eventually when you joined the Dark Lantern, she visited the Lantern Academy because she's a trusted ally, and you met with her again. She is around 55 years old. She's a human female, and she has short, cropped black hair and sort of a gravelly voice.
Okay.
Where can we find this individual?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry, my first mission as well. You are to meet her at the top of Lyrandar Tower on the airship dock at sundown, which I believe is in an hour or so from now.
Do we report back to you once the mission is complete, or?
This sending stone specifically will be active once a day, so whenever you need to call, just, put your palm on it and it will send a message to us. This will be the one message for today, so tomorrow you'll be able to check in with us again, and we would love for you to do that so we can get a back and forth going with you.
And did you envision us taking this stone with us or leaving it in the safe house?
It's probably safer to leave it here.
Okay.
But you are free to take it if you'd like.
Well, yeah, I'm excited just to be a part of a mission.
Yeah.
Yes, this is also my first one, so we're working as a team. If you need anything, let me know and I will try my best. Also, I believe under the table, they should have set some things aside for you. So one of you reaches under the table and sees
probably Gadget.
Yeah, Gadget's already under there.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing.
just tons of gears. This one's for Gadget. This one's for Ghost.
Yay.
This one's for Walt.
Yay.
This one's for Pulver.
Hey.
Sounds Ghost.
Those contain some requested items that you had, along with a healing potion and a feather token, which will be essential in Sharn.
Oh, how cool.
Amazing.
Oh.
This is so cool.
Yeah, there's a little thing in there. That's so neat.
Feather tokens.
How fun.
Oh, I could do lots of stuff with this. You know, we could put that, if you put it right there in that one.
If you wouldn't, this would be valuable.
Maybe later.
Excellent. I hope everything is there for you.
Wonderful.
There's also, I believe, one of you, and I believe Ghost is taking charge in this mission here, has a, this is the sending stone also, and that is the expense account. You have 200 gold to spend during this mission in however you need to. Now, in Sharn, that might be bribing, buying equipment, anything you need, 200 gold.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. If there's not anything else,
No, thank you, Gold Nickel.
you're welcome.
Mission received. We will make sure to complete it as punctual as possible with as little issues as possible.
Excellent.
We
Now,
can, take the things we find on this mission, right? Just if, we happen to find some things that could be helpful.
We're hanging up now. Goodbye. Thank you, Gold Nickel.
Bye!
all right, don't steal anything.
Okay.
Good luck.
Bye.
Gold nickel out.
Good advice.
In my knowledge of the city, how often have I used the, I assume that I've used the airships quite often to get back and forth type of thing. Am I familiar with this tower?
The tower that you're
The
going
Lyrandar
to?
Tower, uh-huh.
Yeah, you've probably been to that airship dock before. It's
So-
a pretty common travel point for just common people as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through, sort of my memory of it, of, entrances and exits of this tower. Where
Okay.
do people normally, board or get off sort
So,
of thing?
yeah, you know that this tower is basically, the airship dock is at the top of the tower, and there's just one lift that goes there. So it's an elevator that's pretty much the only entrance and exit, other than jumping off the side of the tower,
Sure.
which
It's
isn't.
an exit.
I mean, it's totally possible.
Do we know what these do?
Yes. So feather tokens, as long as they're on your person, if you fall 20 feet or more, it will activate, and you will start floating until you hit the ground.
Oh,
and then it's a one-time use thing.
Oh,
So they're very good to have in the city because you can fall off any bridge or any other tower, and you'll probably land at some other part of the city because it's just city built on city, built on city,
Right.
built on city.
Do a lot of the citizens have something like this, like a security for
I
living
would
in
say
the
the
city?
middle and upper class do. The lower class probably don't, but they also live lower in the city.
Sure.
So it's less likely they need it. But it's not uncommon in Sharn for people to just fall out of the sky.
Sure.
And a lot of the main bridges in the city actually have like enchantments set on them for feather fall.
it's raining people.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. Like people fall all the time because it's just a city of towers. There's towers everywhere. There's bridges everywhere. Having a feather token is just security. Like everybody
Sure.
tries to have one.
Yeah.
But they are, they're magical items that are sometimes hard to come by.
I do know the way to the tower, so any sort of business that we need to complete here, I can take us after.
Then before we leave, Ghost will also go ahead and change. She has a standard identity she goes into because most people don't like seeing changelings. It's a little off-putting.
Yes.
We're very pale and pale eyes, and we just look like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she has like a standard. She looks like just like an elf.
Changelings are everywhere and nowhere in Eberron because anybody could be a changeling, which is why if anybody knows that you are a changeling, they immediately distrust you, which they kind of should because a lot of their abilities are used to deceive and scam people, but sometimes they're used for good in this case.
Yes. So she's
We'll
an elf.
see.
Yeah. Well, are they?
She hasn't murdered anybody yet.
That she knows.
Yeah, I know. You're right. You're right about that.
So she's a blonde elf, very tall and slender with blue eyes.
Okay, cool. So as darkness descends upon the city, you see windows light up the towers from bottom to top around you, and you head to the top. I assume you're all taking the lift?
Yes.
We can get to the lift.
I
yeah.
know. Yeah, I'm going to squeeze in if I can. So yeah.
So you...
But I look very uncomfortable. You can tell because of my face.
yeah,
It's like this.
you do look uncomfortable.
This is my uncomfortable face.
Okay, fair.
Your shoulders are in your ears.
There's a slight hunch. A little one of these.
Yeah.
Ghosts notice you're uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
she
yeah.
says, "Wow, you've really gotten over your fear of the lifts. I'm happy to see you on them, and
I don't like confined quarters.
it's very understandable."
I spent 6 years in a dungeon cell, so this brings back bad memories.
It's almost over, big guy.
He doesn't breathe. That's the the vibe that
Yeah,
you get. Is he does a strengthening sigh.
They don't breathe, so it's like a simulated sigh.
Yeah.
Right.
The shoulders go up.
Do I feel human to you?
He vocally goes, "Huh."
Mood.
Sigh.
He just says sigh. Yeah. Okay, so you get to the lift, and it's just one of those. It's literally just an elevator. You press a button, the doors open. You go inside. Doors close. You pick airship dock, which is at the top, and the lift rises. And about maybe 20 seconds later, you're at the top. Doors open, and you are at maybe what is this, like 50 by 50, like circular. So you walk out, and you feel a cool wind that whisks between all of you. And it drowns out the other noises of the city that you can hear being up this high. The lift is eventually called down and then called up again, and it rises carrying a human in her mid-50s with cropped black hair and a glowing cigarette in her mouth. She walks out of the lift and gives a wry smile as she nods to all of you and says, "Hey, thanks for coming."
It's a pleasure to see you again, Sergeant.
Milo, it's
Waltz
been a...
now,
Oh,
if you don't
right.
mind.
You made the Dark Lanterns, right? Congratulations.
Also, this is a very public place.
Oh, yes, that's right. I'm so sorry. I'm not, and I should remember these things. Congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you. And I see that the leg is healed pretty nicely.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, House Jurasco. Do good work.
They do.
Everything okay?
Not for now. Let's move on.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Oh, enjoying it?
Yes,
How did you...
Did you?
always do this.
I've never seen you do that
That at the
before.
academy.
This is Gadget.
Hi.
It's nice to
Gadget.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Sergeant Vil.
Don't shake her hand.
Why? Is she sick? Is
You
she?
might want to wash that.
All right.
And check your pockets.
Okay.
Never.
All right. That was a noise.
I think this one is the exploding one.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
She's in the wedding party.
Oh, that's what it is. Yes, I'm the maid of honor.
Ah, maid of honor. All right. And you are
Pulver,
Pulver. Nice to meet you.
you look familiar. Have we met before?
It's possible. I've been around a lot.
Did you serve in the last war?
I did. Is that all right?
Everything's fine.
All right.
Hi.
And you, so you look like an elf. She probably doesn't recognize you.
No, this is a form she's always taken.
Oh, so this
Generally,
is okay.
yeah. She's
And okay, then she looks upon you and she's like, "Ghost, it's good to see you too."
good to see you as well. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. Thank you again for coming. The Sharn Watch could use your help, and whether they know that a shadowy government organization is helping out behind the scenes, let's just not tell them that. I won't tell them if you won't tell them. All right?
Well, that's part of the dark. We're not supposed to tell anybody anything.
In
Right.
fact, why don't we move this conversation somewhere more private?
Yes.
Well, there's no airships at this point at night, so I figured this was the safest place to meet. And there is nobody else here.
I'll walk over to the lift door and see if I can jam it or
Yeah.
prevent it from opening type of thing.
So when you were inside the lift, you probably saw an emergency stop. So you go inside and you just pull
pull
that.
it. Yeah.
So it will not be called anymore. She's like, that's a good, all right. Now we're alone.
Well,
Ghost is gonna go ahead and do a scoop around
Thank
the
you.
area. Yeah. I'll just double check. Just standard procedure, making sure everything's
Okay.
on the up and up.
Okay. So when you guys are safe and sound, or at least feel that way, she throws away her cigarette and meets you at the center of the airship dock and says, "All right, so here's what's going on. I have a Warforged friend. Her name's Cole. She lives down in Lower Sharn. Works down there too, I think. Now, she sent me a message saying she'd like to meet and talk about some sort of crime that's being committed in Lower Sharn. One involving Dask, which is a local crime syndicate. I'm sure you've heard of them. They are a crime syndicate, one of the many in the city, and they mostly monstrous folk that join their ranks, goblins and gnolls and kobolds and bugbears, those sort, and sometimes even a human or two if they can be swayed to their side. Anyways, she said she was scared for her life. She thinks they're after her, and she knows something. She has some information about some sort of operation they got going on down there. Now, I could go down there and meet her, but a sergeant of the Sharn Watch going to Lower Sharn to talk to one Warforged is going to turn a lot of heads. And, not to mention, before this message got to me, it crossed a lot of crooked hands. Some of which are probably in the Sharn Watch. I'm trying to root them out, but I can't do it all. I'd love for you to go down there, talk to Cole, and just see what's going on.
I have a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Of course.
What is your relationship to Cole? How did they know to contact you?
Cole and me, we served in the last war together. She actually lost her arm in the last war, so when you see her down there, you'll probably recognize her, unless she got a replacement. It has been a while since I've seen her. But she was missing an arm. We served in the last war. I trust her. I trust her with my life. I do. So I do want to make sure she is safe. That is of utmost important. Make sure that she's safe. Hear her out, see what she has to say, and if she needs to get out of the city, maybe help her get out of the city.
Have you worked together before? How many people know your relationship?
Me and Cole? We haven't kept in touch as much since the war ended, but sometimes we meet for a drink in Middle Sharn, and she seemed happy enough. I met her about 3 months ago. Haven't heard from her since until I got this message, so...
What are Cole's affiliations?
affiliations?
Is she a member of a society, a gang?
Not that I know of, no. I think she's living alone in Sharn because she can't afford to live anywhere else. It's hard for Warforged in the city to get jobs. People don't trust them after the last war. And she's trying to make ends meet, best as everybody else can, so...
Tell me more about this meeting. Have you set a place to meet or a time yet, or is
Oh, yeah. She wanted to meet at the Cog Carnival. It's,
Oh no.
That sounds like the best place ever.
Oh, yeah. I've been there once or twice. It's a Warforged bar down on Lower Sharn, and they got fun games there.
Warforged bar?
Yeah, they cater mainly to Warforged. But other races are also welcome, but it's mainly Warforged down there.
How intriguing.
Are you supposed to meet this evening, or?
Yes, yeah, this evening.
Will she be expecting you?
She is expecting me, so, just mention you're with me, also, if you run into any trouble, I got this for you. This is a Sharn writ. You can use it to get out of some jams if you, I'm not saying kill people and then show this to get around being arrested, because that's not going to work. But if the Sharn Watch get on your back, you can show them this, and they'll probably cool off.
I see.
It's almost as good as me being with you.
And how long can we use this for?
Well, don't abuse it.
Oh, I would never.
All right.
Hey, Gadget, I can hold on to that.
Okay, I mean, I have lots of pockets if you'd
Yes.
rather. Okay, just say it.
Thank you. I doubt we'll get caught or need it, but it is appreciated. Thank you.
Well, if there's anything else.
Actually, is there any information we could give Cole? Any information to assure her that we are a contact of yours?
Let me think. Okay, yeah. If she needs some sort of connection with me, you can ask her what my favorite brand of smokes is.
Okay.
Or I guess you'd have to tell her that, which is dragon sticks.
Dragon sticks.
Thank you for your help and for your service.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Yes.
And she buttons her coat, heads back in the lift.
You need to pull the lever. Okay.
Oh, is it this one on the right,
It's
or
a push.
it's a push.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a yellow light. now.
We'll just ride down with you.
Oh yeah,
let's
I don't.
all-
Is that safe? Is that okay for the? Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. You all get in the lift, go downstairs, and
In the lift, like, this is awkward. Finish the conversation.
We already said bye. Oh no.
so where you staying?
Well, we can't tell you that.
Oh right, yeah, a secret. Yeah.
Have you ever worked with Dark Lanterns before?
Not in the field. No, just I visited the academy.
Okay, well, that's not a question you normally ask them.
Oh, all right. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting up with it.
Oh, thank God.
And as usual, this conversation never happened.
Of course, yes. And she walks into the night.
Should we go back and plan how we want to do this?
I think it might be best for us to head down and try to get as early a start as possible. Originally, I was thinking to maybe ask you to pose as the sergeant.
Oh, I see. I was actually thinking of becoming a warforged to blend in with the...
Since she is expecting the
Yeah.
sergeant and we already have a warforged, perhaps it'd be best for you two to be the front of the mission, per se. Establish contact and see if any traps are sprung. We can be waiting in the wings.
Can you two make an intelligence check real quick?
Yeah,
And you can use my badge.
that is right.
So that badge is a random badge, but
Yes.
from far away.
It says Gotham City Police.
19.
10.
Okay. So you, while having this conversation, you realize that if you were to imitate Jermaine Vilroy as a sergeant down there, and if someone recognizes you as a sergeant, that might be bad for Cole and the sergeant.
Yeah, that's true.
But if Cole tests you with knowledge that you don't have, that could also scare her.
Right.
Just you could still do it. I'm just
Yes.
giving you that information because you're smart enough
Right.
to know that.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not.
No, it's fine. So I think what we can do is we'll go down. I'm not going to try to impersonate the sergeant just because I don't know the in and outs of her like Cole might know. And the last thing I want to do is scare her or think that, she has a reason not to trust us. So,
And it sounds like acting as if we were members of the Watch would bring undue attention.
Yes.
yes.
So we're going to be undercover no matter what.
Yes.
Perhaps we could bring Pulver in as the new entertainment. I've got quite a few connections in the club entertainment scene. Perhaps I can pull a few strings at the Cog Carnival that'll get the two of us in. And your mechanic.
I don't know how to
Yeah.
dance.
Oh.
We'll get to that when it comes to it.
I have one dance that I do very well.
I see.
I don't know what the name of it is. But I'm quite good at it.
I'm very
I've seen
excited.
many people doing it.
I see.
It involves moves like this.
Yes, it does.
I
And
feel like
this.
I feel like Warforged hate that dance.
Yes, I have no idea though.
Yeah, 'cause you've
it's like, wow, that's really offensive.
Yeah.
That you're doing this move. Yeah. But I'm very good at it.
Great.
If they want to see that dance, I could do that all night.
I could get us in through the back performer area.
perfect.
Maybe you want to go through the front as
I'll go
a
through.
face.
Yeah, probably scope out the area ahead of time a little bit and wait for you to appear.
Yeah. Well, I guess we've got a routine to plan.
I love this.
Perfect. What could go wrong?
This is gonna go great. I love it.
Are there any like magical items for us to talk to each other aside from message?
No, not at this
can.
point.
I have message. as a
Oh,
hand.
Okay.
Oh.
yeah. So message is, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a spell that you can point at somebody and speak within, I think, 120 feet.
Yeah.
And then they can reply back in a short sentence as
Is that
well.
a cantrip or a...
Yes.
I think it is,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Which is like amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
great for this
cool.
kind of work.
Oh, so we both have message. And then the person can respond, I believe?
They
Yes.
can respond
You
with
get
like a
one
sentence.
response.
I think
25 words, if I remember
Something
correctly.
like that.
Whoa.
It's just like
So-
Twitter.
Yeah.
Just like Twitter.
All right, great.
Okay, so you guys head down to Lower Sharn. You probably have a couple of hours before you have to get there, so you use that time to prep. But it does take like an hour to get there, the transportation-wise, because you take a bunch of lifts, of bridges, and then you're there.
While that's happening, I would like to sort of scope out my contacts like along the way to see if I can
Okay.
know anybody or something that might be able to
Yeah.
help.
Give me a history check.
Okay. 8.
Aw.
Not rolling great today.
Yeah, I can't imagine you spent too much time in Lower Sharn,
Right.
especially in a Warforged Bard, so
Yeah.
you probably don't know anybody here.
Got it.
But you head down to Lower Sharn, and you can immediately tell this is very different from Middle Sharn. The stench of like body odor, garbage, and like tobacco smoke is all mixed together to form this weird, almost Vegas-like stench. This district is called High Walls, and when you get there, you immediately can tell why. There's high walls that block this district off from the other ones, and that's not to protect this district. It's to keep them out of the other districts.
gosh.
It's literally like segregating them from the other ones. So when you walk in, you see towers looking down on this area that's like poor and crumbling, vandalized, lots of crime. So you are you transforming into anybody specifically?
No, nobody specifically, just trying to blend in with like the folk here.
Did you want to be a
probably.
Warforged? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Be a Warforged.
okay, so as you're passing by in the street, you can probably pick a Warforged off the street and be like, I'm that one.
Yeah.
Are
And
you
so,
like a small version of it?
Yeah, like a smaller Warforged.
okay, so you transform and you see a not a very large building. It's probably like 40 feet by 40 feet. And in front of it, you see the walls are vandalized. A lot of it is anti-Warforged graffiti. So it's like scrap heads, go home, and stuff like that.
Wow.
And you see a tall, decently built Warforged in the front with crossed arms standing in the front of the door. Looks like a bouncer. Yeah, you're in front of this bar, maybe 20, 30 feet away. What would you like to do?
Would you like to go in the front?
Yes, I'll go in the front. You said you have contacts in the back, right? That you can probably get through.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, great.
Waltz knows what he's doing. I'm sure of it.
So are you guys going together, or how's this
No.
going to work?
No, they'll go in the back. I go in the front.
You're going in the back?
Gadget, would you like to come with us as his...
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be a mechanic.
Mechanic.
Yeah.
It's like a doctor, right?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you two are going in the front?
I'm with the. I think only.
Only you're
Only
going
me.
in.
I'm
Ghost.
going in there and we'll
Okay.
meet in there inside.
So you walk up to this Warforged in the front, and he's wearing like a bowler hat off to one side to make him look a little more.
Rakish.
It's
Yeah.
Bob.
And he just kind of steps aside. He sees you as a Warforged and just enter.
I give him a nod and walk in.
What does the perimeter of the building look like? Like, are there alleyways on either
Yeah,
side of it?
there's alleyways on
and
either
other
side.
buildings type of thing?
Yep.
So, why don't, let's have the two of us scout either side and see if there's a back entrance.
Yeah.
Wait here.
Yes.
So we'll go either way
Okay.
of the building.
Okay, so you walk around to the side and
Sneak.
Okay, so give me a stealth check
Yeah.
for whoever's back there.
Yeah.
So with my boots of elven kind,
Natural 20!
First 20!
very nice.
Excellent.
I have advantage on dexterity stealth checks. Okay, so well, I'm moving silently. Perfect.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice. All right. Okay.
Ninjas.
25.
Great. Perfect. You both very stealthily walk behind the bar. Not a single soul catches sight of you. And back there, you do see a back door. It is currently shut, and there's no one there.
So we've been stealthing, and I imagine like the two of us are doing so well that we kind of bump into each other. Okay, all right.
Okay, good.
This is fine.
I didn't see anybody. You see
I
anybody?
didn't see anyone.
Okay, good.
Can you work your magic on this?
Oh yeah.
I'll go get the big guy.
Okay.
So, unlock this door, huh?
Well, it's closed. I didn't say it was locked.
Right.
I'm gonna try to open it
It
first.
is actually open.
Hey.
But I'm gonna close it and pull out my all of my things, and
We just want to show off for each other.
and just kind of like do this for a bit until they come back and be like,
Yeah.
and just push it open.
I did it.
All right, so I will come around the side of the building, still hidden.
Okay.
And then try to get your attention and be like,
Goom, 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 goom.
Yeah.
casual.
Goom. Goom. Goom.
Can I have a stealth check from you, Oliver?
A smiling warforged.
Stealth.
Terrifying.
I know it is. It's really
Probably
bad.
won't
They
go
look
well.
like they're eternally screaming.
My
Yeah.
goodness, I rolled an 18.
Sweet. Yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
Stealthy.
Slippery.
Yeah.
wow.
I'm gonna roll
Covered in
slippery.
oil.
Yes.
Yep, you're good.
Yes.
Yeah. So the bouncer does not notice you. You walk back to the back of the bar, and you see Gadget working on the door.
How's it going?
I got it.
Oh,
It's
good.
Easy peasy.
You know what? I give you a lot of flack, but you're the best.
Thank you. That means a lot. It means a lot.
All right, so you're the mechanic, and we've got a new act debuting for Mondo Metalhead.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a name they would use, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dancing Mondo Metalhead.
Yes. Dancing Mondo Metalhead.
And I make sure that everything stays oiled properly so that you can dance easily.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just as a clarification, I don't require oil.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I do thank you.
well, maybe the oil helps with the dance.
Oh.
It'll make me slippery, yes.
Yeah, that's important for the dance.
Sure, let's
I believe you.
go in.
So you walk into the back. Let's go back to you real quick. So what you see is you walk inside the establishment and see smoky, low flames in a fireplace that like just barely illuminates these crappy, really cracked stone floors. And you see Warforged all over the place. And a lot of them are missing limbs, fingers, arms, legs, and some of them have scars, burns, other wounds. You can see that there are, a lot of them are crowded together, playing games, card games, board games, role-playing games. There's like dice games. There are dartboards. There's also like carnival competitions, like throwing rings onto bottles and striking a pad with a hammer to make it ring a bell.
But everybody's just really good at everything because they're all
Right.
Warforged. So it's like accurate.
You also see, past all these Warforged, there's a little bar in the corner, and you see a bartender that's like shouting jeers at patrons that are like losing games and stuff. What would you like to do? Are you waiting for them?
I think I'm gonna like shift off to the side a little bit, find a table.
Okay.
I should probably order a drink first to blend in, actually.
Okay.
So I'll go up to the bar.
Okay. So you go up to the bar, and the bartender
Smooth.
And she's looking off to the side at someone who's trying to hit that hammer game, trying to ring the bell, and they literally just miss the pad. And she's like, you couldn't hit the ground. You fell off a Scott coach girder. Oh, what a doofus. Oh, hey.
How did they even miss it?
I know. Well, I haven't seen you around here.
It's actually my first time in here.
Oh, well, come on in. This is the Cog Carnival. My name's Smelt. I run the place.
Very nice to meet you, Smelt.
What can I get you?
What's the favorite?
Well, all I got's ale, so I was hoping you'd say ale.
Let's get some ale.
Ale it is. All right. And she hands you a mug of ale, and
She'll just
down it in one go?
Yep.
Okay. Are you often a big drinker?
She trained to be
Are
able
you-
to handle alcohol.
Are you trying to make it seem like you are?
Yes.
Okay.
But she's also trained to she practiced. She doesn't do it for fun.
Okay, cool. You also see them at this point. So you guys at the back saw basically a hallway that leads into this large room, and then a bathroom off to the side. So you walk in and see all these patrons playing games, and you peek around the corner and see her at the bar.
Is it lit through the magical electricity, or is it torches? or
There's
is it
in this one, I'd say there's probably torches, yeah.
torches.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a pretty low-tech bar,
Got it.
save for the carnival games.
And then, does it look like there could be a stage for a bard or something, or any sort of, I guess, in front of the fireplace?
There's probably
or-
you know what? Next to the bar, there is a raised platform, but currently there's just a bunch of boxes and bottles stacked there, so they probably haven't used it in a while.
Got it.
And they've used it for storage, but there seems to be a space for it.
Okay.
And is it only Warforge in here, or is there the occasional Warforge hanger-on?
There's only Warforged.
Boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Warforge
We're gonna
only.
stand up.
Okay. I'll step out.
So you step out, and
Attention, folks!
Oh.
and everybody turns to you.
I have journeyed far and wide to find the best entertainment for you fine people. I'll do dancing lights.
Ooh. Make a performance check.
I sure will. That is a 16.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. So people go, ooh.
If you would please give your attention to Mondo, the Machine Man. So I sort of dramatically sweep him forward out of the hallway.
Okay.
Okay.
So you walk forward.
Looks forward, or walks forward looking, all casual.
Everyone's eyes turn to you.
I'll control.
I feel all the eyes looking at me, and I kind of freeze up.
Yeah, so I'm controlling the dancing lights that are out there. I'll sort of recall them back because there are 4 orbs type of thing.
Sure.
And I will sort of attach them to parts of his body so it looks like there's just glowing decoration on it, right? I'll get up behind you and I will start slowly moving you, and where I can't reach, if anyone was looking, they would see a faint blue arm sort of reach out and sort of move other parts of your body as well.
Wow.
And the 2 of us will, with the aid of the dancing lights, will start moving in a dance.
Okay.
I let that happen.
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be difficult for him just because
Right.
he's a Warforged and he probably doesn't dance often.
Yeah.
So give me a performance check, but at disadvantage.
Performance check at disadvantage. Okay.
I think while this is happening, I'm awkwardly standing to the side,
Like you're not part of it, or
well, I think I'm trying to be part of it, but this is not my forte, so I'm just kind of
Maybe every once in a while I'll look over and I'll just be like, music.
Music.
So I rolled a dirty 1.
Oh,
If that helps at all.
did you say 31?
Close.
Okay. Okay. Cool. You start
I'm
moving.
very uncomfortable, as it turns out.
I'm
I've
basically
never had
gonna-
this many people looking at me before.
I'm just loosen up, big guy.
Yes. Loosen up.
So you move his. Wait, is that the music?
Yeah.
You are moving his arms, but sometimes it's stiffened, so you
Yeah.
Ow,
and
ow.
eventually you move his arm into the wall, and he just punches right through it.
Yeah.
Need more oil?
And
I can fix that.
Smells like, wait, what are y'all doing? Hey, that's my wall. Hey, come on now. That ain't right. What are you doing in the back?
And thank you all very much.
Oh, I'm starting to cry.
All right, I guess let's clap for them.
Oh no.
Ghost starts clapping really loud and then laughs. She's like, oh.
I blew it. I'm so sorry. Another hole in the wall.
Oh no, stop!
All right.
My dog.
All right, you gotta leave. Get out of my. Okay, you
I'll
can't
leave.
be punching holes in my wall.
You're very right. I'm firing you as a client. Get out of my sight.
As a client, I thought you were hit. What? Who are you?
I'm his manager. I thought that a performing Warforged would be a novel, something that would do well in Warforged bars, but apparently we need work.
Give me a deception check with advantage.
I can.
This seems believable enough.
Sure. All right, so I've got 16.
Okay. He's like, all right, well, what kind of performance were you gonna do? Because that was kind of garbage, if you don't mind me saying.
He wants to be a dancer, and as a professional, I can say that he's got some talent, especially as a Warforged, but it's still, pardon the expression, rusty.
Right, that ain't right. Don't do that again.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, why don't...
We'll work with the mechanic to try to fix this. We'll also patch up your walls, no problem. We'll get started on that right away. I'm so sorry.
All right, yeah, if you could patch up that wall. Could you patch... There's a hole in the back. Could you patch that up while you're at it?
Sure, we
I'm good at patching walls.
Hang on, though. If we're going to be doing extra patchwork, then
We
we
will
should
do
get
it
paid
for free. We will do it
We
for
should
free
get paid
out of
for
the
it.
goodness of our hearts.
For free. Well, I was gonna give you a drink, but all right, free.
Well, as apologies for wrecking your establishment. And for the future, perhaps we could work something out for future performances.
Maybe. I mean,
Not for free, though.
not for
The
free.
first one was for free.
Well, I ain't got much money here, but all right, yeah, we'll see what you got.
I'm just gonna locate some scrap wood, and I'm gonna size it to the hole in the wall, and just use my hammer hand to kind of tap it in. Like,
Supervised.
Okay.
like this is something I know how to do. It's like, oh, fix things. Yes, I can do this.
Okay. Can you two give me perception checks?
Actually, would
'Cause
you like to do it for me?
I can.
My perception is +0, so
Oh.
can you remember that?
I can remember +0. Okay.
Mine is a +1.
Okay. This isn't hard to notice, but you both see a very tall, well-built, muscular Warforged, wearing like a large hat, and he is staring daggers at both of you, and it's kind of like,
You think that guy has a problem?
Okay, we're gonna go fix the wall.
Okay, but he's staring at us. It's rude.
So I'll drag her over to where.
did you say that loud enough for him to hear it?
She's not trying to be quiet.
Okay.
So
You talking to me?
I wasn't actually. I was talking about you, not to you.
He walks over.
I'll be like,
Whoops.
take care of this, and I'll duck away and try to leave.
What do we got here? A bunch of meat bags in my bar?
Oh, that's your bar? I thought it was her bar.
My bar. I'm here every night. I
that's-
own the place.
That's not how ownership works. You.
What do you know about ownership?
Well, I actually owned a bar myself.
You owned a bar.
I did.
What kind of dump was that?
Oh, it wasn't a dump at all. It was the nicest place in town. And it was called Gadgets, and we had gadgets that you could buy. And also we healed people.
Gadgets is a dumb name. And you see another, like, skinnier, kind of frailer Warforged wearing the same hat, but it's way too big for his head. Right next to him, going like, "Yeah, you tell him, Bull." He's like, "Ah, I thought your bar stunk, 'cause you stink, meat bag."
Can you even smell?
No.
Oh, so you wouldn't know.
Are we fixing the wall?
Yes, well, I'm fixing the wall, but I probably hear this conversation.
Oh yeah. He's not being quiet about it either.
So yeah, so I'm going to go stand near Gadgets.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing with these meat bags, huh?
These are my managers.
You.
Managers?
I'm a mechanic.
A mechanic?
Yeah.
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 Why are you mocking me?
Because I don't understand you, and
I
that
just said
scares me.
yeah. Why were you staring at us? You just don't like that I'm not a Warforged?
I don't like meat bags stinking up my bar.
Okay, well, I apologize. Maybe we were here to be friendly, but you just had to immediately assume that we were horrible. So, you're not a very nice person.
Well, thank you for noticing that. I try not to be nice so I can be aggressive and claim my area.
My friend,
This bar is my area.
I feel we may have gotten off on the wrong foot here. My apologies for the wall that I have punched a hole in. I assume this is your wall, if this is your bar.
Damn right, it's my wall. And Smells like, nah, that ain't his wall. It's my bar.
Yeah, he
Don't
doesn't
listen.
own this
And
place.
I apologize for the bringing my two managers in here. I'm very new to this business, and so if you will allow them to stick around while I repair your wall, perhaps have another go at our dancing show, that would be fine. I don't think I caught your name. My name is Pulver.
My name's Bull.
Does my hand dwarf Bull's hand?
It's about the same.
Oh, Bull, my boy.
So while the whole exchange was going on, I've been ignoring all of it. I'm over by the whole scoping for like a female presenting one-armed warforged that we were here to find. I'm looking
yes.
for Cole.
right. And you probably were too. You were
Yes.
at the bar. Sure. Give me perception checks from both of you. Or I guess I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
You're plus
Perception's still zero.
0.
My perception is +1.
Okay. Every time you try to scope the bar, this giant warforged bull is like, just in your way, like, yeah, that doesn't look fixed though. You could put a little more spit into that and get it done. You know
Do
what
you
I'm
have
saying?
any joint compound?
Some what now?
Joint compound.
Oh yeah, I got some joint compound. If you go in that bathroom, you'll see a big hole. Just reach your hand into some joint compound.
No,
there.
no.
You know what I mean?
I trust
you
him
wanna go-
implicitly.
I can
No,
show you the
no,
joint compound.
No, don't do that, Pulver.
Don't do that.
No.
I trust you implicitly.
Yeah,
I trust you more than I trust him.
Yeah, okay, good. Because that wasn't very nice.
So you do not see anybody fitting that description. You look around and see there are several warforged here that are missing arms.
Right.
You see one at the bar across from you. You're sitting at one end, and at the other end you see another one that is missing right arm, and she is just drinking an ale with the other hand, and she looks a bit sad.
Okay.
And Smelt asks you like, "All right, you want another drink, honey, or?"
I think I'm good for now. Thank you.
All right. Well, let me know if I can get you anything. And she walks away and does some other stuff behind the bar.
Okay. I'm gonna mosey on over to the other warforged
Okay.
at the bar.
Okay. You sit down next to her.
Or is this seat taken?
She kind of looks up at you and doesn't say anything.
I will sit down. You come here often? She's not really good.
No.
Great, it's
This is
perfect. I'm
great.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a really good question too.
She takes a sip of her drink.
Product of the war? She like nods to the arm.
So you say product of the war, which all warforged are products of the war.
Oh shit!
They
Wait,
were
maybe
built-
she just like.
They were built for the war. So I
She's
mean,
not a personable person.
if
Ghost
you were,
This is great
Not
though
yet.
because you look like a warforged that knows nothing about it.
yeah. If you were a warforged, you would say that is not the right thing to say. But because you are not, she kind of looks over and glares at you, and then gets up and starts walking away.
Can I come over to Ghost and just be like,
Hey, look, I got some interesting. Oh, is it? Oh, she's leaving.
Yeah.
Cole! Cole, you should come back.
Oh my god.
That's very
Top of her class.
That's what she would do.
Top of her class.
Yeah.
When you say Cole, she stops for a second and turns, but a lot of other Warforged in the same place do the same thing. Because you being a non-Warforged, like calling someone out at this bar, seems kind of odd. And Bull's like, hey, what are you doing? You shouting in my bar?
No, I would never.
Are you shouting in my bar?
Oh, no, I would never shout in your bar.
That's right, damn right you won't shout in my bar.
Yeah, you're right.
I am right.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Okay, I don't want to do this again.
I don't either.
Okay, good.
Dang.
Just go over there. Drink some more. Yeah. Anyway, Cole.
So she, at this point, has walked and mingled into the crowd.
I take it I see who this Cole person is.
Yeah, you saw her go into the crowd as well.
Okay.
She probably walks near one of the side walls and kind of leans against it and continues drinking.
Okay.
And she's definitely eyeing you suspiciously at this point. Probably not you, but you definitely.
Yeah, I'll come over to where Cole is. and sort of saunter up to her in a very super casual way.
Hey,
Good evening.
hey, I'd just like to be alone if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine. I just wondered if there was somewhere quiet we could go to talk.
I'm not really in the mood to talk right now.
We have a mutual acquaintance, you and I. Sergeant Vilroy.
Can you give me an insight check?
Yes. That is that. Do you want me to roll it, or would you like to roll it?
Up to you.
I'm gonna roll it.
Okay, go for it.
15, baby!
Woo!
Yeah, with a 15, you definitely notice her eyes go a little wide, and she looks at you, and then looks back at her drink.
Okay.
She seems very uneasy.
I know this is an unusual situation. That's why I asked if there's somewhere more private you would wish to go speak. We're here to discuss matters of public safety.
Yes, I think we can go talk over there. And then she takes her drink and throws it in your face and says, Bull, he's hurting me! And then she runs for the door.
Okay.
So make a dex saving throw to see if you
my
can dodge this
gosh.
Okay. Yeah, natural 1.
Oh!
But it's a 2!
So you definitely weren't expecting that from
Yeah.
someone who's as quiet as this. So this mug, she basically just throws the entire mug in your face, and you are kind of dazed. And then at the same time, you see Bull in the corner, like, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" And he starts marching towards you. And she has ran for the door and is running out. If you guys are chasing, yes. Okay, then we are in a chase. Let's roll initiative.
Oh my god.